Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mama Lala. That makes us sound like, what's that thing?
What thing?
Baba Yaga? Is that like a creature? Have you heard of that?
No idea what you're talking about.
Never mind. Cut that. Editing, Kayla, cut that. This is my mother. And I'm Kayla. This is the year she birthed me.
Oh, cool.
Do you like my shirt?
Love it.
It's like velvety. We're here to update first on what we read last time. You already saw what I read last time, but if you didn't see, I read the Ornithologist Field Guide to Love that we selected for the two word, and I gave it 5 stars and I loved it. Good. And then I read the Eyeball one. It was a short story collection.
Right.
And I thought it was fine. The people are here to hear about you, though. What did you do? Last time we shopped my bookshelves.
We did. And I'm returning them to her. So
Oh,
here
great.
they are. I finished Iron Flame.
Oh, the second
I
book.
believe it was called.
Did you like it?
I did. So, that's what I'm looking for now. Is
The third one?
Yeah.
I heard that the third one is the worst.
Yeah, but you didn't.
No, but like of people who love it.
Okay.
Even Rob, he read it and he was like, the third one's a little bit disappointing. It feels like a setup for the fourth. Because I think the fourth is the final one.
Oh, I thought it was a trilogy.
No, it's still going.
Oh.
It is still publishing, so don't get your hopes up about anything wrapping up in book 3.
That's what I liked about these ones. The ones that I shopped off of your bookshelf. Because I think previous to these, I had read a whole bunch of like really long.
Yeah. Or you even started ones that are going to be long, like the Robin Hobb.
Yeah.
It's like the beginning of something.
Yeah.
This is like contained.
Yeah. Just having a handful of books that you could take like 3 or 4 hours and sit down and consume them all in one sit was good.
Oh,
It was good. So we had Dial A for Aunties. It was fun.
It was so stupid, right?
Yeah. It was fun. Then we had Legends and Lattes. It was good. It was cute. It wasn't as funny as I kind of expected it to be for what maybe just the title of it made me think it was going to be hilarious.
Yeah, okay. It's cozy fantasy.
Yes.
I don't know if you're a cozy fantasy girl. I think you're a fun fantasy girl.
There's a difference.
Well, like, because cozy is like nothing bad's going to happen. Everything is like simple. Everything's going to happen really easily. Fun is like there's still stakes involved. You are in dangerous scenarios. Like Amina Al-Sarafi is another cozy one where like nothing bad's going to happen because she's telling the story later. The one where she's a pirate. Did you finish that one yet?
No.
I think it's just because the stakes are so low that nothing dangerous is ever really happening.
Maybe that's what it is. I cannot get invested.
There is a prequel to this one where I believe...
Yes. I think at the end of this book,
was there a sampler?
Yes.
That one might be more action focused because it's Viv before the events of this. I have that in my closet.
Okay. This one was my favorite.
Yay!
Finley Donovan.
It's like one of those books where you are so annoyed by Finley, right? You're like, what are you doing? You're an idiot, but also I'm having so much fun.
Yeah. This is like okay, if I had to.
You do have
3.75.
Only 3.75? Okay.
Yeah. But it giggled.
It tickled your funny bone.
There you go.
What's the vibe this time?
Well, I want to find the third book, whatever the third book is called.
Onyx Storm, I think.
Yeah.
That's it?
It's the only thing I have intentions towards. And are you looking for
No.
the buzzword? No?
I have it. I can show you.
Okay. Because it was Celestial?
Yeah.
On the cover, right? And memory. Something to do with memory?
Memory related words. So memory, forgotten, remember, things in that realm.
Oh, okay.
This is what I have on my shelves.
Oh. Spells for forgetting.
It's Celestial.
Oh, and it has
do you think?
both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I win already before even going into the bookstore.
You're a winner.
But I'm still going to buy a lot of things.
Are you?
Hell yeah. I'm about to go in and buy the sequel to this. And I was wondering if I've given this to you.
No.
Okay, this is what I'm now giving to you. You don't have to read it, but I think if you do want higher stakes fantasy that is fun and funny, this is the one.
Okay.
It's called How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying, and the sequel just came out like yesterday. So I'm gonna go buy that.
Okay, so you obviously liked it if you're buying the sequel
Oh my God,
right now.
I loved it.
Okay.
It's a woman who is dropped into a video game, basically. That's what it feels like. And she has to gather all of these members, like little creatures like ogres and elves or whatever, to like support her endeavor to become the Dark Lord. Because she keeps trying to defeat the Dark Lord, and every time she tries, she fails and she dies and she has to restart. It's like a time repeat story. And then eventually she's like, let me just become the Dark Lord then.
Dark Lord, I'm hooked.
They must just be cleaning up. They were filming a Hallmark Christmas movie here, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look, there's like Christmas trees.
Oh, yeah.
And the windows are frosted.
You're
welcome.
Oh, I recognize that.
That's the Raven Cycle. My favorite. Heard that one's not good. We'll see. I'm sure I'll end up reading it. I thought you read that already.
I did.
Yeah, I got that from the library for you, I think.
It's on the new table. I'm thinking, there is a new one coming.
Or no, that
right?
side's new. This is discount. Or this is bargain. He has a new one, yeah. That's part of the Holly series.
Yeah.
I kind of want the Count of Monte Cristo, but I want like a floppy version of it because it's a really long one. What's your favorite classic? I don't think we've ever talked about classic books we like. Frankenstein?
I've tried a couple of times to read like Tolstoy, and I just couldn't. Classic, would that be like Of Mice and Men?
Yeah.
Okay, I liked that one. 1984.
Oh yeah, I never finished that.
No?
No.
And Fahrenheit 451?
Did you read those like in school or on your own time?
I think it was on my own time in school.
Oh,
Watership Down. That's a classic I've read.
Yeah. Maybe I read that because of you. It might be one that like you gave me or something when I was young. That was like my first rabbit book cover.
You were a teenager when I read that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
East of Eden.
Yeah, I like that. I read that a couple years ago.
Oh, what was Swiss Family Robinson? Sorry. Swiss Family Robinson.
You like that one?
I read as a child, and I must have read it 20 times. And then I found out that one of my favorite uncle, that was his favorite book when he was a boy.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cute.
That is a big one.
People keep telling me I'm gonna like it. I don't even know what it's about.
Wrongful imprisonment, adventure, and revenge. Okay.
Well, maybe it is for me. I'm skipping this one because it looks a little damaged. Paperback probably doesn't come out for like a year.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to buy the big one.
Well, that's what the second one I had to buy.
Oh, you can choose if you want a sprayed edge. Dragons.
Saga of the Unfated, Book 1. Saga of the Unfated, Book 2. Yes, it is a sequel.
Cool. You have to have it. That's the law. Oh, it's the only signed one.
Oh.
Why are all the covers so good? It like makes you think the book's gonna be good.
Right?
It's dangerous.
Fallen for that before.
We are very hot compared to the last time you saw us. Oh, you don't have my books for me?
I got your
Go ahead.
books. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Go
Okay.
show.
So what do we got? We've got The Winter's Tale, a Pelican Shakespeare.
I'm collecting the
Yep.
collection.
Yep. Okay, this one has the price tag right on the front. Did you want that? Okay. The League of Gentlewomen Witches. Will he be the one to cast a spell on her? The sequel?
Yeah.
So this was the first book? The
Yeah.
first one was How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to read that one. And you bought Everybody Wants to Rule the World Except Me. This is the sequel to that one.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I got this little book that you would have already seen in another video, so don't worry about it. And then my last one is Kill Creatures by Rory Power. Look at that cover. A girl kills all of her best friends, and then when she's at their funeral, one of them walks in. So she never really died. And she knows that she killed them all.
Oh. Oh.
And then my mother bought 3 hardcovers. Good God.
I didn't buy them. You bought them.
Correct. You picked them out.
Yes, I picked them out.
This is Onyx Storm, in which our main character, Belinda, marries a dragon. What's this about?
Belinda, huh?
I don't know. What's her name?
Her name is Violet,
Oh.
but Zayden calls her Violence. That's his nickname for her. It's kind of cute.
Sure.
Dragon riders and going to war with evil creatures. And
Ooh. This one also has sprayed edges and they're glitter.
look at that. And it's a signed copy.
A curse carved in bone. A fate inked in
blood.
iron. Oh,
In blood.
in blood.
A fate inked in blood.
Oh, it's right there.
Yes.
She got it from Book of the Month
Yes.
last year.
Yes. And I liked it. And this is the sequel that has just come out, apparently.
Who knew?
And, you know, there's a new Stephen King. You have to. You have to.
Do you think it's pretty under here?
I don't know. Nope.
One thing we don't have in common with Stephen King is I don't like the Holly books.
And I do.
I don't like Holly. I don't want to follow her. I don't care about what she's up to. And here she's doing something.
This looks like...
Oh, it's a letter.
Yeah. It like a killer has sent this letter to the police.
Uh-huh.
And so that's probably what Holly's going to be solving.
I will kill 13 innocents and 1 guilty. Those who cause the innocent to die will therefore suffer. This is an act of atonement.
That is
Bought way too many books today.
quite the TBR.
Yeah, what? You can't read all of those in a month.
Not unless I quit everything else.
These little cute little clips we do cannot turn into your full-time job.
Cannot.
You cannot have the pressure of the books. I think you're expected to come back next month with a review for The Dark Lord,
Okay.
and Onyx Storm.
Okay.
Because
That I
those are
can
the
do.
ones that sound the most interesting.
Yeah. These two I just bought because of...
They were there, and you didn't know about them.
Yeah.
You didn't know they were out.
Yeah.
She now officially has a TBR that she's not immediately reading.
Yeah.
Next month, our book haul might be a little smaller.
You think?
What if we go to the library next time? We haven't done that yet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. Good morning. We are kicking off the reading vlog today, and I'm gonna read Spells for Forgetting. I'm excited about it. I think I'm a little apprehensive about it. I was just editing the intro with my mom. She's so cute. I love how you guys always comment that I look so much like her, because I don't really see it most of the time. And then I sit down in front of my mirror and I'm getting ready and I look exactly, you know who I look like? I look like my grandma on my dad's side. Maybe it's just because I have her hair. So when I have my super red hair and I'm wearing a denim shirt, I just feel like I look so much like her. That woman, I never saw her in a t-shirt. Even to go to bed, she was wearing like something with collars and buttons, but she loved a denim shirt. She always had these really pretty brooches in her pocket. I don't know why I'm telling you about this. I just sat down and I was getting ready and I was like, I look like my grandma today. This is my only book that I have planned. I don't have any backups, so it has to go well. I'm excited about it because it's an island magic story that isn't like witchy magic necessarily. It's just like this island has a magical vibe from what I understand. And what I'm thinking is the story seems so predictable before even cracking it open that I'm just hoping that the relationships and the writing I end up loving, because the plot seems really simple. We have this woman who is living on the island and she's lived there her entire life, and she is a part of like the magic vibe, as well as all of the women who live on the island. So then we have this man whose mother was a magical entity on the island, and he grew up there, but then he left. Something horrific happened. Everyone blamed him for the death of this woman, Lily, and so he fled, and now he's back to bury his mother because she wants to be back on the island. All of the women in her family, or all the people in her family, have been buried there, so he comes back to the island and everyone's like, oh my god, August Salt is back, everyone steer clear of him, he's a bad guy. But our main character Emery and him have a past together, and I can't imagine it going any other direction than him being absolved of this crime and finding out who really did it, and like that's going to be his purpose on the island. Him and Emery are going to get back together. Everyone's gonna find out that he didn't kill Lily, and in fact I feel like it'll probably be really obvious who did kill Lily, because it's gonna be whoever on the island is most apprehensive of him coming back. So he's gonna come back and the whole town's gonna be like, oh my god, he's back, he killed Lily. Everyone remember? He killed Lily. It wasn't me. We all hate him, remember? I don't know if it's that I've read books like this or whatever, but I feel like going into it, I know exactly how it's going to play out, and I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm surprised, but mostly I hope that I just love all of the relationship dynamics and that the writing is beautiful because the cover is so beautiful. I look at this book, actually I just look at Adrienne Young's covers and her vibes, and I feel like she could be a favorite author of mine without having read a single word, and I don't know how to explain that, but I just get a feeling I'm going to love her stuff, and I hope that I'm right. So I do have the audiobook that I'm gonna pop in for a little bit today, and then I'll read physically and we'll just go back and forth and see what I think. All right, it is significantly later in the day. The sun is so aggressive. I can't even open my blinds. Like they're open this much just to let enough light to film. If I touch the window, I will burn my hand off. And if I open up the blinds, it'll become 30 degrees in here in like 5 seconds. So hot. Liam got off school and now he's going golfing, and I slathered him in sunscreen. And I wouldn't say 2/3. I would say just a little over No, I'm significantly over halfway. Do you care? And look how nice. Hello? That's probably Rob asking me what food I want, and I already told him. Look how well my bookmark matches the cover. The gold is really pretty. I gave up on the audiobook really quickly because I didn't like the male narrator. So what did you want for dinner? Yeah, I said tacos, you dork. He's very kindly picking up dinner after dropping off lamb. And now I'm getting tacos. So this story, oh, my battery's dying. Perfect. This story is exactly what I expected it to be, except that the woman who is still in the small town, is with another man. She doesn't see a future with him, but I guess she's kind of leading him on. He's one of like the only options on the island, and they have a connection because of this tragedy that happened a long time ago. But when August comes back into the picture, I think she's ready to finally leave him and be with August. But she doesn't want to be because there are all these rumors about him, and everyone's like, he's this damn battery. He's a terrible person, and she shouldn't want to be with him. And even if he's not responsible for the death that occurred, he definitely has something going on, but it's not going to make him a bad enough person that we can't root for their relationship, you know? What I do like is we're getting little snippets of a countdown before the fire. So right before August fled, there was a big fire. Some people have like majorly scarred bodies from it, and there's a big mystery of where certain people were during the fire. And occasionally we will have these little moments that are like 2 hours before the fire, 12 hours before the fire. I can't find any now because they don't happen very often. Also, we're getting perspectives I wasn't expecting. We're not just hearing, oh, there, 5 months before the fire. We're not just hearing from August and Emery. We have perspectives from a couple other people. So many secrets are going to be revealed. I don't care about too much of what's going on. The writing is fine. The relationships are fine. The magic has not come into it except for this chapter that I'm just on. She's mentioning going to her tea shop, which is what she runs. Her mother used to read tea leaves for people who came to the island, and they rely heavily on visitors. But they stopped offering that service, and people will come in and they'll be like, why don't you do this anymore? It's like a sensitive subject for her. Everybody has a little shop, so it's kind of a cute small town vibe. Everyone has their own thing going on, so she goes over to the restaurant to talk to someone, and then she's going over to the apothecary, and now at this point she wants to not like do a spell, but she wants to gather some things to impact the vibes of the island, I guess. It's not that it's less magic than I was hoping for, because I knew it wasn't like a fantasy story. It's just like, why introduce a magical element if you're gonna take so long to even talk about it? Talk about it. My husband's bringing me home tacos. Forgot what video I was filming this for, and my buzzword vlogs are supposed to be more thoroughly reviewed because there's only 2 books in the video, but then I didn't really take many clips reading because I forgot that's what I was supposed to be doing. I was thinking like this is a video with 5-6 books in it, and then the next book I'm reading I don't feel like I'm gonna get to explore at all with you out loud because it's a sequel and it's chaotic. So sorry. This is a 3.5. It felt like, I'm trying to think, should I make it a 4? I want to say it's a 4 because it's so pretty and I want it on my bookshelves. And I want a justification for continuing to read this author because she has another one called The Unmaking of Jane Farrow, which I think other people have liked more. I believe it was up for the Goodreads Choice Awards. I don't know if this one was, but I do still want to read that one. I just get a vibe, and maybe it's like every book of hers gets better. Maybe. This felt like it was originally written as YA, and then she had to just age up the characters. It just felt very teenage issues, even though there was land debacles and there was, you know, more mature things happening at times. You could have easily age these characters down and put them in high school, and like their families just had a rivalry. Like the boy from out of town is now back in town and like, oh, I have all these ooey gooey feelings for him. Grown women can feel that too, but it just felt, the character voice, there was multiple character voices, they felt youthful. I didn't love the chemistry between these two. I wanted them to be together just because they wanted to be together and they had this history. The reveals were easy and also I don't think made the most sense. Like the motivations behind everything, you needed to sell me a little more on what was going down in here. I liked the magical elements, but I wanted it to be more. The drama between certain people just felt like inauthentic, I guess. Oh, I'm talking myself from a 3.5 to a 3, but I already finished it and filmed a TikTok clip where I said 3.5. Yeah, I'm trying to think like, what did I like about it enough to give it a 3.5? I liked the pitch of the book and I liked the initial setup and I liked the atmosphere. It was definitely pretty low plot. It was a lot of people just thinking about their past and how they want to engage with each other in keeping secrets, a lot of dialogue, a lot of inner turmoil. And that's fine. Like nothing I'm saying is a flaw. It's just like, it's like you gave me all the ingredients to a cake and then didn't give me the instructions. So I threw in that part and threw in that part and that part went in the wrong order. And then it just turned out to not be the most delicious cake that it possibly could be. Yeah, that's my metaphor for the day. I read this from like sun up to sundown. I feel a little bit like I wasted my day, but I was also filming a bunch of stuff today. So that was a good way to spend my time. I don't know. What I do know is I'm gonna start Harrow the Ninth. In contrast to this, which I thought would be a favorite, there's no way that this is a favorite. Everyone says this is a really confusing book. It has a good payoff, but you're just lost for a long time. And that's even how I found Gideon for a little bit of it. I'm gonna go back and watch my review for it because a couple people have told me I should reread it, which is making me nervous. Like, is it because there are things I need to remember from that first book to take me through this one? I'm not sure. Could I even pitch Gideon the Ninth to you if I was asked to get up on a stage and explain that book for 5 minutes? Could I do it? I don't think so. The necromancers are back and they're gayer than ever. Maybe let me put in a clip of me talking about Gideon and then I can remind you and remind myself what was happening in it. And then you'll just watch my facial expressions while I read this. I imagine I'll be like, huh? What? Oh! Okay. Roll the clip. Gideon is our main character in here, but we also have an equally important main character named Harrow. It's called the Locked Tomb series or trilogy, I don't really know. And the Locked Tomb is kind of like what Gideon is responsible for protecting. She's kind of acting as a bodyguard. And the reason it's the 9th is there are 9 houses, 9 planets. And Gideon's only like friend, only person her age is her enemy, and that is Harrow. And basically, if 2 people work together, one is like the bodyguard and one is the whatever else, when they work together, they have the opportunity to ascend to like immortality, and they have to complete this list of tasks. And so it's kind of this adventure but also mystery story. It is set in space, but it does not feel like it's set in space. And Gideon goes along with this plan because she wants to escape her current like job, responsibility, servanthood, imprisonment, and the planet itself. So she goes along with Harrow's plan. They hate each other, but like, do they? I'm out doing some shopping today and I brought my headphones, but I just don't know, now that I'm thinking about it, if Harrow the Ninth is a good idea to do on audio. I think it's like a true tandem experience is the proper way to consume it, where I'm looking at the words and taking it all in and listening at the same time. So I was thinking like, should I start something else? But then it wouldn't be in this vlog. So I guess I'm not reading today. Maybe I'm just not reading today. I thought I'd just show you what I'm getting Rob for Father's Day and his birthday, I guess. That's what I'm up to. I'm picking up golf clubs for him. And then the book that I got him for Father's Day, or the Liam and I got him for Father's Day, should be arriving when I get home. I also have to do some groceries. I don't know. I'm just at the point in the year where summer hits and I start filming like a million things at once. I don't know why I always do this. I haven't started reading any of the things, but I've filmed like intros and clips and deciding books for like, I want to say 3, including this one, 4 different videos. So I I feel like I'm filming 4 things at once and everything's getting so jumbled in my brain. And I am organized, like in my notebook, I'm organized on the computer, I'm organized, you know, but when I just sit down to like talk about a book, I can't remember like what video I'm talking about, what you've heard from me before, and I just feel a little discombobulated. So maybe let me just like lock in on real life today and forget about video stuff, but I do have to pick up a couple books while I'm out. Okay, I am just gonna take a nap right here actually. Okay, I'm good. Golf clubs, let's go. Oh my God. Oh my God, it just fits. Does it fit? I guess I now have to head to my parents because I have nowhere to store this until Father's Day. Okay, I got everything done that I needed to do. I didn't film anything. This was pointless to be vlogging today, but I wanted to show you his Father's Day present and the mistake I think I made. His birthday and Father's Day are the same day. So the golf clubs are for his birthday. This is from like Liam and me for Father's Day. There's this website called Wonderbly where it's like an I Spy book, and you just put in the information about the person you want to gift it to, and then just like Where's Waldo, it puts Rob, his face, his likeness, like I got to choose his eye color, his hair, his beard, etc., his skin tone, and then it puts him in the pages, and each page is an I Spy. Like, this is so cool. I saw an ad for it and I thought it was so fun. And it had the option to add other people into the book. You know how like you can find Waldo, but you can also find his dog or his sister or whoever else. And since it's a Father's Day thing, I was like, oh, I'll add Liam into it as well. And there was also an option to add another parent. And when I made it, it looked like it was no longer a Father's Day present. It looked like it was a book about him and me. And I wanted it to just be for him because the whole book is called Where Are You, Dad? And it's about I Spy finding Dad. But then you can add like the side characters. So I wanted me and Liam to be side characters. And I didn't realize that when I did that, it made me, well, I kind of did, but I didn't think it mattered because like if I look like a kid, it basically made me and Liam his children. And I didn't think it really mattered because it's just I Spy. It's like you find a person who looks like me and that's probably me. It doesn't matter that it makes me a child. But what I didn't know when I ordered this is that there's also a story. So at the beginning, it's like a story of like me and Liam and our dad and how he like teaches us and loves us and holds us. And then there's pages about us, his children, because it's starring Liam, Kayla, but it is Where Are You, Dad? See, if it was me and him, it was putting us side by side, and then Liam was down here, which makes sense. But as a book, I was like, I don't want it to be about both of us. I don't want every page to be about Rob and me because we're the parents. And that's how it looked to me. So now that I've actually received it, I'm just a kid in the story for my own husband. Here we are again. So now I did make it a book about me by accident. And he's like not even in here. He is he's right here. Look, he's in the fish suit. Oh my God. I haven't read that opening, but I just flipped it open and realized how ridiculous this looks now. Like, look at, it's me and my dad, Rob. There's like a whole story in here. This was not a part of the preview. I had no idea. And now I feel like it looks a little ridiculous. But I'm gonna pretend it's on purpose. I haven't looked through and found us in any of these pages. But anyway, it is mostly the I Spy thing, but I am sad that it looks like it's about me. Hey, look, but in the end, we do work together to save him. So I need to wrap this up now, and he's gonna love it. It's officially the day to read Harrow. Am I gonna read the entire thing today? I don't know. But at this point, how far am I in? 67 pages. It's funny how I'm having the exact same experience I did reading Gideon as far as expectations, because I remember picking up Gideon and everybody told me it was a really confusing book and that I was just gonna have to be okay with being lost and that would all pay off and whatever. And people have said the exact same thing about this. And when I was reading Gideon, I think because it was 2.5 years ago, I've forgotten this element. There's different ways that I'm interpreting confusing And so I find these books really intimidating to get into because sometimes there are books that are confusing, and to me, if I call a book confusing, I mean not well written as far as how the world exists, how the magic system runs, or it's like all of the science fiction technology that I can't fully get a grasp of. And I don't know, it's either like not well written and well described, or I'm an idiot. And like, I don't like going into books feeling that way. And so I put them off. And I remember reading Gideon and I was like, this isn't confusing because I don't feel stupid. Like, I understand everything that's happening. The scenes, like the characters are being introduced in a way that's traditional. We're getting a lot of world building. Like, this isn't confusing. But what I realized back then, and I'm realizing again now as I've started it, is when people say it's confusing, they mean that the author is intentionally leaving out information for a reveal later, an explanation later. It's all purposefully done and it's crafted really well, but because you're not being fed all of the answers, that's what people mean by confusing. And like, obviously that's what people mean by confusing, but I think of it that like the language is something I can't possibly understand, or there's references or there's allusions that like if I don't grasp them, then I'm lost. Like, it's my own fault that I'm confused. The book wants you to be confused. Something really interesting is I have to try so hard not to tell you like anything about this book series, but still tell you what I'm liking about the book. There is a character missing. Not just a character missing, but a character's name missing. And you'd think that this character's name would come up, and I think that's very odd. But it feels intentional. What I'm loving about it is this is written in second person for the most part. There are portions that aren't, and that obviously is intentional. And I already just feel like Tamsin Muir is doing something, and I'm gonna find out later what the purpose was of these things beyond what has already been kind of explained, I think. So we just got to a point where Harrow is receiving these letters. I love letters in books. There are these guidelines to things that she has to accomplish. The way that the book is being told to us is the same way these letters are being told to Harrow. It's like, you don't get to know everything, just follow along and you'll get it, and just do what I say. And so that's also how I'm trusting Tamsin in the traditional narrative sections, is you're doing something, you're so much fucking smarter than me, and I trust you in this journey. Because even the way that she's building out this necromancy situation, and maybe it's just because I haven't read very many books about necromancy, I'm like, you've got it. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you are explaining that section well to me, and how like the world exists and how people are children of other people and how like everything functions, but like I don't know enough about the concept in general, but clearly you do. So you got it, you can hold my hand, and you're doing a great job with that. I'm really in for a 550-page journey here, and I need to finish it in 24 hours. So wish me luck. Now, I already established for myself that this was going to be a challenging book to talk about because it's a sequel, and also just the world that we exist in is hard for me to even like describe what's happening. There's a locked tomb, there's these people, they work together, they accomplish something, but there's also all of this backstory of like how we got to be where we are, and who's fighting against what, and like who went into space, and like what I can't explain to you what's happening in here even more so, because literally a single word that I say would spoil the first book. I think this was a bad pick to vlog, but I do know, because some people have told me specific chapter numbers where things happen, and I might want to film myself experiencing them. So if you have read this, you can see my like reaction to what's happening, I guess, but I still don't want to include any spoilers. What I will say is reread Gideon before this. If it has been even like 6 months, I don't know. It depends how good your memory is. But I would say reread Gideon as close to when you read this as possible. Or if you haven't started the series, read them back to back. Because there's something that I think if you aren't really familiar, if you don't really remember anything about it, will be extra confusing for you. But if you've read it recently, because I was told to reread it and I didn't take that advice. And now I fully understand why I was told to do that. And there was one specific scene that happened that I needed to go back to Gideon, and I reread the scene and things started to click more. And now that I've even done that one scene, I now am like, I'm just reading the book a little bit differently. This is the most vague thing ever. I'm sure there are like full spoilers for this book series somewhere on the internet if you don't want to consume it and you just want to like go understand what the fuck I'm talking about. The book is doing something really interesting, and I imagine the chapters that people have led me to, I think it's like 40 or 50. I'm gonna have to recheck my Discord, but I'm in the 30s right now. I now expect exactly what the reveal is gonna be, but I wonder exactly how it's gonna be explained to me or how it's gonna be done or if I'm wrong. And then I've heard there's like a lot of explanation and reveals back to back to back. So I need to like lock in and really pay attention. I do wish I had reread Gideon, but at least I know why I was told to reread Gideon. So yeah, I guess I'll see you when I get to that section. Just as I thought. Okay. I look a lot of bit of mess. Okay, I think what I thought would be a book full of like twists and reveals because of the way people pitched it to me. That's not really the intriguing part of this book. And even if you know or you figured out like what's going on and why the narrative is functioning the way that it is, the main enjoyment of this, I think, well, I guess it depends on who you are, but it's more about like the book is just interesting itself. It's not about like, oh, this is going to happen and this reveal is going to go down. It's about who, you know, is interacting and who dies and who doesn't. And it's just like the first book where there are so many deaths and there are so many characters introduced. And I think, like I said in the first one, it's hard to know who to care about and whose name to remember because there's so many people. And if I need to keep track of people if they're just gonna die on the next page. Something interesting that just happened is I finished it and there was still like 50 pages left, so I didn't realize there was a glossary, a pronunciation guide, and then there's a little story in here that I guess exists in this world outside of this story. And then the epilogue was something completely different that was like intriguing but also confusing, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck the third book is going to focus on and how this plays into that. What I liked the most about this is learning more about the Cavaliers and lictors, the explanations of how a lictorship works, especially because I forgot some things from the first book, but also how the lictorship, am I saying that right? How being a lictor even functions in the first book versus now, and how it's been further explained and work outside of the parameters that we've already had explained to us. I love the blurb on the front from V.E. Schwab that says, unlike anything I've ever read, because yeah, I don't read a lot of SFF like this that is so much about the world building and the explanation of the dead and the living and the energies. So it's funny how like I at one point Googled thalurgy and thanergy to see if they were real things or if they were based off of real things, because they're words to describe like where energy comes from. One is energy from the living and one is energy from the dead. So planets that have like living creatures are creating thalurgy all the time, but dying planets are giving off thanergetic radiation. And I just think that that's interesting. Do I understand much of it? No. I guess in that, I would say maybe I take back everything I said, and it is a confusing kind of book if you're not paying super close attention and you forget a lot of, well, I guess that's why there's a glossary. You know, there's all of the planets, all of the, oh, actually, the glossary only includes like 3 things that were new in this one, and the first book probably has all of the original glossary. But you know, remembering everything about the necromancy organization and the anti-necromancy organizations and resurrection beasts and heralds and all of that stuff can definitely be difficult to follow. This is something that maybe there's something out there that's a good guide to reading the series if you do forget things often, or I mean, in lieu of taking your own notes, which would probably be a lot to try to remember like who's doing what and what actually matters. I think this was far more ambitious than obviously than the first book, but it expanded on the first book, and I gave that 4.5 stars. I feel like I didn't enjoy this quite as much. I don't think I was having as much fun. It wasn't as funny, but there's a reason for that. And then it does get funny, like the last quarter I was having a good time and everything like came full circle, and it's like I appreciate it for what it did, but I wasn't having like the best time ever, and I don't even know honestly if I'm gonna continue into Nona. I don't know, like part of me wants to, but and leaving someone with a 4 star is like, obviously you should continue the series, but I'm already hesitant to read series, and I don't think I'm obsessed with this world, and also I'm gonna forget everything like within a month. I can feel things already leaving my brain. That was a lot. I can't believe how quickly I just read that. I don't know if I offered you anything with this video at all, but it's over. We hung out for a couple days, and I'll see you in the next vlog, which I don't even know what it is at this point, but you'll be there, I'll be there. Love you so much as a friend. Bye!